So my project is on digital technology and retail. This is about how the retail industry has been reshaped and how retailers respond by the use of digital technology. So just for a little bit of an introduction, within the digital era, technology has changed the way we go about everything, and that includes shopping. We're instantly connected everywhere, anytime. We can now buy online via our smartphone, or computer, or tablet. We don't have to sacrifice the time or travel that we used to with traditional brick and mortar stores. In fact, we don't really have a need to go shopping anymore. Instead, we order what we want when we need it and aren't confined to doing so on a certain day or at a set time or any specific location. So because of this, brick and mortar stores must come up with innovative strategies to effectively compete with their online counterparts. So the purpose of my project is to provide an overview of how retail has changed and just some of the challenges that brick and mortar retailers face, as well as provide examples of innovative strategies retailers have and can use, as well as provide examples of how digital technology has been utilized in the in-store experience. So as many of you have already heard of, we are in a great retail apocalypse. More than 3,500 stores are expected to close here in the next couple of months, and that includes huge retailers such as JCPenney's, Sears, Macy's, Kmart. Some are beginning to shift into an online model. We've got Sears that's shutting down about 10% of its Sears and Kmart locations, about 150 stores across the country. And we've got JCPenney is shutting down 14% of its stores, or about 138. And I've provided a figure over here on the right just so you can kind of see how many stores are shutting down. In fact, at the top we've got Radio Shack and Payless, who have actually declared bankruptcy. And some of you may be wondering, why exactly is this happening? Well, first reason is we just don't visit the mall as much as we used to. Mall visits actually declined by 50% between 2010 and 2013. Second, we just have far too many malls. For example, the United States has 23.5 square feet of retail space per person, compared with 16.4 square feet in Canada and about 11 square feet in Australia. There's been a shift in how consumers spend their money. In fact, spending on restaurants, travel, and technology has boomed within the past couple of years. And then the obvious one that we've kind of touched on a little bit is the growth of e-commerce, or shopping online or via mobile phone. And just some statistics for online shopping, it accounts for about 10% of revenue in most developed countries. And mobile commerce has grown from 2% to 20% from 2010. And between 2010 and last year, Amazon, who's the biggest retailer right now, has actually increased their sales from $16 billion to $80 billion, which is a huge contrast from what we've seen from the previous slide with all these retailers closing stores and losing sales. And so one question that I'd like to address is, how can brick and mortar retailers bring about a memorable shopping experience for their customers in an age where physical stores are decreasing while online presence is increasing? First, I would suggest that we go to some academic literature. Two of the most commonly cited shopping motivations are hedonic shopping motivation and utilitarian shopping motivation. So hedonic shopping motivation is a pleasure-seeking activity. These consumers look for fun, relaxation, and adventure. They don't just go to a store just to buy something specifically. They go to experience it, to feel something emotionally with the store. And then we've got utilitarian shopping, which is a little bit more goal-driven. There's actually just one purpose, which is to go in and get the item and leave. And how efficiently that task is completed will actually correlate with the consumer's perceived benefit. And one question that we might ask is, because consumers can shop at any time or any moment, is online shopping really devoid of any experience or excitement? So one thing that a lot of companies have and can do is target the younger generation, which makes up of millennials and Generation Z. Now, while there's a lot of discrepancy on what really constitutes a millennial or any generation for that matter, millennials are generally defined as people born between 1981 and 1995. For Generation Z, it's between 1996 and 2010. And despite the reputation millennials may have, actually their spending power is predicted to increase here to go to $1.4 trillion annually and should represent about 30% of total retail sales by 2020. And despite our stereotypes as millennials being, very technologically savvy and only into online shopping, they actually like to visit stores in person as well. I know for myself, I like to go in and touch things. I like to make sure something fits before I really commit to it. In Generation Z, while they're relatively young and not super well known generation quite yet, some of the older members will represent approximately 40% of consumers by 2020. And these consumers place importance on experience over consumption. And much like millennials, they do prefer companies with a high social media presence, as these are the two most technologically savvy generations. So just an example of the way digital technology has been used in retail stores. We've got virtual mannequins, which actually contain sensors that are triggered by customers removing the hanging item from the rail. So once this happens, customers can then see a virtual model of the garment of their choice. So that kind of gives them a better idea of what it's going to look like on them. We've got the popular Vuforia app that's used by American Apparel. And how this works is consumers can use their smartphones to zoom in on specific products. Once they zoom in on these specific products, they can instantly see reviews, they can see videos of the product, and they can order it online if they must. Nordstrom has used the Textile app to really enhance their in-store experience. So in this particular app, customers and salespeople can text products back and forth to each other, and if the customers see something they really like, they can text buy, and the transaction is automatically handled through their Nordstrom account. We've also seen the collaboration of Macy's and iBeacons. So anytime a customer who enters the store and they've got a Shopkick app installed on their iPhone, they'll be immediately alerted about deals and items that they may be interested in. And lastly, we've got the use of Snapchat by Free People. And they use this Snapchat to offer sneak peeks of upcoming collections. They also use it as a way of humanizing their brand and answering kind of just some fun questions about the company's culture. Alright, so just to wrap this thing up, what a lot of these retailers have done to try and stay relevant and I guess survive the retail apocalypse if they can is target young consumers and also utilize digital technology and app creation to focus on the in-store experience just to elicit that kind of emotion for hedonic shoppers. Whether this works or not to survive the retail apocalypse, we'll see about that. Maybe, maybe not, but